Okay, so let's spend some minutes to talk about the status of the XR hardware. So just to make the point about what's available now on the market. So, but first of all, who am I? I guess that Mo already made an amazing presentation. I'm super flattered by his words. Just to say some more details, I work in AR and VR since 2014, so it's a lot of years now. I love this technology, both AR and VR. And in these 8 years, I've been both a developer, a freelancer, an entrepreneur, a blogger. I try to do many things. I don't know if I do them well, but I'm still trying. And you can see that my blog is called The Ghost Holes, cardghost.com, and I will leave you the link later. But I also work as a developer for gaming. I have a VR fitness game, and with Vroom, I work on VR events. So something like events in virtual reality, social VR stuff. Now people talk about the M word, the Metaverse, but let's try to keep saying social VR to not use too much buzzwords. So the idea with Mo was trying to make a point about what's available in VR now, because, especially for people enter the field, there is a lot of expectation. They think that AR and VR maybe something in the movies, something like Minority Report that is always quoted when talking about AR and VR interfaces. While in reality, we are much similar to the right part of this slide. So still at the beginning, we have graphics, hardware that is still good, but could be better, etc., etc. So let's try to kill the hype that is like the purpose of this conference, and let's keep it real. What's available now as VR hardware? So let's start with the headsets. And what are the most important and popular headsets now? They are the VR standalone devices, like the Oculus Quest 2 that is really selling a lot, the Pico Neo 3, or what you see here in the slide, the Vive Focus 3, that is anyway another headset of this category, even if more expensive. We already know what they are, but just to show it with an old video by Meta. So they are headsets that are super comfortable, not super comfortable, but they are very handy to be used. You just buy them, you put them on your head. Sorry? You put them on your head and immediately without cables, without PC, without reading too many instructions, everyone can use them. So it's interesting that also you have some controllers in the hand that gives you basic emulation to throw punches, to grab objects. So nothing is super detailed, super, refined in this kind of standalone headsets, but they do the job. The Quest is also very affordable. And what is important, what we always talk about when talk about VR is the visuals. And the visuals currently in standalone headsets are not bad. We have a field of view of around 100 degrees. We have a resolution that is more or less 4K between two eyes. And the meaning of all of this is that it's like a bit like seeing the real world through binoculars. This is what more or less what is the impression in this moment. The problem with this kind of standalone headset is that have the computational power of a mobile device like a smartphone. So the graphics are pretty simple. You don't have super complex graphics, so you can't play. You mostly can play, cartoonish games or games with graphics that remind one of like the PlayStation 2 or something like that. So this is the most popular type of devices, but actually there is a new one that is entering the market that is what I call lightweight VR headsets. So these headsets don't look like shoebox on your face, but look like big sunglasses. And this is great from the comfort side because they are very lightweight, and you don't look like a nerd guy if you wear them, outdoor like on a plane. You still look a bit strange, but not that nerdy like with a shoebox on your face. And these glasses are possible thanks to technological advancements like pancake lenses and micro displays. So what's interesting of these glasses is that I think that's probably the form factor of all the future devices that will become always more similar to sunglasses, to abandon that boring and weird box on the face form factor. Going instead backward in time, the first category of headset that became popular was the tethered headset. So we started with the Oculus Rift. You had something with a cable connected to a PC, and the headset is just a visualization. It's just an additional screen for the PC that can immerse you in something. These devices are not growing. The market of these devices is still growing, but not that fast like the one of the standalones. In fact, there is a lot of debate if this kind of market is going to die or not. I think it's not going to die soon, but for sure it's going to lose importance if compared to the standalones. The advantage of these devices is that they can connect with a PC, so you can have very powerful graphics. So you all have played Half-Life Alyx for sure. You see when you enter in that game, you really have the impression of being in another world, in another city, because the graphics are very believable, something that is impossible with the mobile devices. But the disadvantage is that you have to have a powerful PC, so everything is more expensive, and then there is the cable, and the cable is a nuisance when you want to use VR. There is also PlayStation that is working on a similar technology, but for console. Recently, it's been announced the PSVR 2. That is the one you see on the left, the one with PlayStation VR 2 written on, so it was pretty easy to, to understand. And it's interesting to see the evolution of VR by comparing these two devices. The one on the right, the first version, was the one coming out in 2016 with the first wave of tethered consumer headset. And it was just a headset, where it was quite comfortable, but controllers were clunky. The screen had a decent resolution. The tracking was not great. And after 6 years, we have a headset with no more the need of external device for tracking, comfortable headset and controllers. We have haptics on the face. We have eye tracking, so the device can track your eyes, and so if you have an avatar, your virtual avatar can show where you're looking with your real eyes inside the virtual world. There are lots of innovations and show you that even if more slowly than we would like it to happen, VR is evolving, is adding always more features, is adding more comfort, is adding more sensors on the headset so that to make the your presence inside VR more realistic, and it's adding more better displays and better lenses to give more believable VR. And then we have what I call prosumer tethered headset, like the consumer one, so they need a PC, but they are super expensive, like $5K, $10K, so really something we can't afford. But companies can afford them and enjoy their super specifications, like the latest X-Tal is like 8K resolution. It has a field of view that is more or less like the one of the human vision. So super features, but for a very high price. And they show you how VR can be maybe in the consumer side, I don't know, in 4 years, in 5 years or something like that. Talking about AR, I always talk about mobile because it's still the most famous and most popular use case is AR filters. Pokemon Go for gaming and AR filters like Snapchat, like Instagram for the other purposes, for social, etc. This is still the most popular use of AR. Other uses are still something for us techies or for enterprises. I talk about this headset that can be connected to a PC or a smartphone that are quite lightweight. But what it can offer is still a bit clunky. I mean, the augmentations that you see are still a bit transparent. The tracking is not perfect. What you see in the field of view is very limited, especially in the unreal light you see on the left. What you see on the right is still a special glasses called Tilt-5 that try to innovate. So they have actually more opaque augmentations, a big field of view, they're comfortable. But the problem is that to offer all of these, they're not general purpose. So you can use them only for tabletop gaming. So there are always compromises in the AR market. There is a market for enterprise with smart glasses. So glasses that just show you simple information in front of your eye, and they have a camera. This way you can call your, your control room while you're working, show them what you're seeing, and they can give you instructions in augmented reality. This has been probably until now the most successful AR market because companies have a lot of need for remote assistance solutions, especially after the pandemic. But this thing is going to enter also the consumer market with the Ray-Ban stories, with the Xiaomi glasses, and other ones that have been announced, not to remote assistance, but to let you shoot photos, to have notifications on your phone, so to have something like a smartwatch in front of your eyes. And they're also becoming pretty trendy, like the Ray-Ban stories that Luxottica has made with Meta. So this is, I think, one of the trends to follow for this year because they're becoming pretty interesting. I see always more people, especially in our sector, wearing them. And then we have the high-end glasses, the Magic Leap 2, HoloLens 2, very expensive. You spend $3K, $5K to have something that offers very robust tracking. So your holograms that you see are very anchored to your real world. And that's pretty incredible because you can move your head and you see them staying fixed like if they were real elements. The problem is that they cost a lot and they still have problems with the opacity of the holograms. They can't work outdoor and the field of view is still little. So AR is still behind if compared with VR. And then the trend to follow this year for AR is hybrid devices. They can do both VR and AR. And the AR that they offer is pass-through AR. That means that the headset has some cameras on the front plate. These cameras see the real world and they show you these images on the screen that you have in front of your eyes. So basically, you see the world around you mediated by a screen. And this is very powerful because if you can decide if seeing on the screen what you have around you or if seeing a virtual world. So you can have both VR and AR on the same device with a AR with a good field of view, great colors, and lots of features. So this is another trend to follow. There is the one on the left is the Linksar one made by a startup. There is Project Cambria that Meta is going to launch this year. And then there are rumors about the Apple headset made this way. That many rumors, probably too many. I really can't stand hearing them every week. And they should come maybe this year, maybe next one. And it should offer VR and AR on the same device. So this is something to keep an eye on because can be the next step for VR. And after having given you a fast overview of what is available now, I want also to make a very fast overview of what I call the other senses. Because when we speak about headset, we always say about the resolution, the field of view, the colors, but what about the other senses, not only the visuals? Well, for what you can hear, the hearing, I think we are good because they are almost all headsets have integrated speakers. And the emulation, the quality is already pretty decent regarding VR and AR headset. But as I said for mobile, I still think that there is other devices can be considered as important, like the AirPods, because I think that AirPods show the power that Apple has in the sector. They are very high quality audio. They could be used for augmented reality audio. And especially Apple has been the first brand that is like enticing users to wear a wearable on their face 24 hours a day. I mean, not when they're sleeping, but all the rest of the day, you see people with AirPods always in the ear, even when they don't use them. And this is pretty powerful because this shows the vision that we have for the future of AR. So people always with something in their ear and something on the face, like glasses. So this is why I think they're powerful. And there has been some experiments with AR audio AR glasses, but they didn't work. These were the Bose AR glasses that just were with integrated audio. And you can have audio augmented reality. You ask me, what is it? I say, okay, you go into a place like a ruin of the Roman Empire, and you hear in the glasses the rumors of what could be of the place when it was alive, maybe with someone telling you a story about it. So this could be what augmented reality, audio augmented reality can be. Talking about other accessories for the touch, so gloves and shoes, I think that I have to warn you that this is something that is still in the beginning because there are devices like these great haptics gloves, and they're great because thanks to like they are big gloves that are little balloons inside, like pluriball, and inflating and deflating these little balloons, you can have the touch sensation on all the parts of your hand. And this is amazing, but it is super clunky at the moment, also very expensive. We're talking something that costs more than 10K, but I've tried them, and it's fascinating that when you see really something touching your skin in different parts of the hand, so you can have the sensation of something moving on your hand. And this is incredible, but it's still at the beginning. This is the Exmo gloves are similar, and I want to show you instead, this is the Sense glove that is fascinating because it's force feedback device. So depending on if I have something on my hand, the glasses prevent me from closing completely my fingers because they simulate the force that the real object will apply to my real hand. So I feel in my hand the sensation of something has a shape. And this is something quite magical, or that something is giving me resistance, like in the case of this ball. So this is another sense of haptic that is possible, and it's called force feedback. And this is another experimental device from Korea that was able to give me hot and cold sensation. So I wanted to give you an overview that what is possible with haptics now, but I can say that all these devices are mostly either experimental or expensive or something like that. To have believable haptics, like, in Ready Player One, we still need a lot of time. And there is also the Tesla shoot is a shoot that is considered like the shoot of Ready Player One, exactly, because it includes all your body, can give you hot and cold sensation and various stuff. Just to give brief word about smell and taste. Smell is simulated through emitters at the moment. And this is a product that actually is not going forward. But for various regulation issues, but shows you how it works. So you have something that emits smells, smell particles, can emit moist, can emit warm sensation on your face. So we have more immersive VR. And I tried some devices of this kind, and sometimes they can give you great emulation in the sense that you really feel more immersed because you're in an experience. And maybe you feel the smell of chocolate, you see the chocolate, and when you see that, it's kind of magical. So I think it's incredible, but it really, again, still at the beginning. It's, I would say we'll need a lot of time also for smell as well. Now it's fun that Vaxo provides this smell of girl. I don't know what it does mean, but it's okay. I will skip this part because we're running out of time to give you also a faster view that there is something also about taste, but taste is still at university research stage. So it's probably the sense in which we have less actual results, less products, but we have something like this virtual cocktail idea that you have virtual electrodes that stimulates your lips and tongue with electricity and with hot and cold sensation to give you the sensation of something more sour, more sweet, etc., etc. So having this cocktail with this electrode on your mouth and the color of LED lights and some scent emitter, because remember that we taste also with our nose, you can have some kind of sensation to feel, to drink a virtual cocktail. Even if you're just drinking water, you feel like drinking something else. And talking about, I love the simulation experiments on taste because they're very weird. So this is another device that you can see that you put on your tongue where some electricity goes all around your body. I don't want to be a beta tester of this stuff. It's very weird. So, but I'm very fascinating with these gels. You can feel the various sensation of the tongue. So just keep all of this. And I know I just 30 seconds. And I just want to say just last thing about locomotion.
Please take your time, my friend. Just we have a few minutes. Yeah, don't. Sorry, Joris. Joris is very nice. Just don't run.
Yeah, but anyway, I please. Okay. Basically, I wanted to show you also that we can already do this some kind of full body tracking. So you see, this is Neos social VR space with a person wearing a headset with eye tracking, Valve index controller for tracking the fingers, and Vive trackers on the body to track the full body. And you can see that the difference with the other social VR videos that you see usually online, this avatar has the legs, can move the fingers, can move the eyes, can blink the eyes together with the user. So this is what we want of social VR. And it's already, it's not super realistic until now, but it's already something that is quite cool with current stage hardware. So we already can provide a bit more of realism, what's already available now. And I was showing before that we have also locomotion. That is another important theme apart from the senses. So how do we move in VR? And there is a lot of study on various systems. This is one of the most fascinating one, is like a treadmill of treadmills, call it this way, so that you can walk naturally, so not just walk in place, but have a real walking locomotion to walk in VR. And at this moment, it's an expensive solution, it's super big. Now I know the company is working on a consumer solution. Let's see if this is coming soon. But it's what we need to walk in VR properly. And this is instead a crazy stuff that was on Kickstarter some time ago. I don't know why people didn't give the money for this, because I think that the failed videos that would have come from this would have been amazing. Maybe also some people could have died using it, but anyway, it would have been for the science. And this is also to show that it's cool being in this field, because there are people proposing whatever weird and crazy ideas, and some of them are cool, some of them are totally insane, some seems insane but are useful maybe in some niches. So that's why I love being in VR. And what's the future? The future is brain control. I don't want to scare you, it's coming a lot of time. But it's fascinating. You see this video by Control Labs that's been acquired by Meta. You see what's happening. Actually, this is not pure brain-computer interface. It's more electromyography. So at the beginning, this guy is playing this game using the keyboard. And so see when they have to press the button on the keyboard and presses it. The system learns what is the relationship between his intention of pressing the button and the actual movements of the fingers. So as soon as it learns this movement, this logic, you just have to think that you want to do this movement, and the bracelet will simulate the movement for you. So now he's just thinking about making the jump with the dinosaur. Even if you're not moving the hand, the bracelet is removing this, detecting this intention and communicating it to the PC. This is the future we are dreaming for VR. Of course, this is even safe for privacy because it's not directly into the brain. And with speaking to the future that Meta and also other brands like Valve are working on, I thank you for your attention. Sorry if I'm 2 minutes late. If you have questions, you can tell me now, or you can contact me with these emails, or can reach out to me also on my blog, scoutghost.com. So thanks to you all. Thanks, Mohammed, for inviting me to this cool event of yours.
It's wonderful, really. I like your presentation. Someone has a question for Antony, or just a short one after we have Joris?
Yeah, just a short question, Antony. Yes, Jean-Philippe said, you are our preferable expert in VR. So you have a lot of experience. And my question is, what's your experience when you are using VR? Are you feel alone, more alone, or you feel more socialized? Because since we are talking for the Metaverse, we assume that we can use VR headsets in the Metaverse and then it will socialize us, but probably this is not true.
Well, that's a great question, and luckily I don't have a great answer because I will be I will answer what everyone is answering, but probably because it is the truth. And I can say that for me it's both. So let's say when I play a single player game, like recently I played Resident Evil 4 VR. I love that title, by the way. And when playing it, I was really feeling, like isolating for the people around me, because maybe there are people that I could go speaking with them. Instead, I was inside my headset and playing. But that is the same that happens, of course, when I play at a PC game, at a mobile game, and just focused on what I'm doing and isolating myself. But instead, when I'm trying the social VR experiences, like I work a lot in VR chat, I make events sometimes in alt space VR, etc., I can really feel the power of socialization. I closed all of this with a little story. During the first wave of the pandemic, you remember Italy was one of the first affected countries. We couldn't go out from home. We couldn't hug people, everyone distant, etc. And I remember that I was attending an event from HTC Vive with the launch of the XR suite, I guess. And it was incredible for me that after being so many times alone at home, I was able to meet other people in Engage. There was this social VR space, and I could hug them. I wasn't able to hug people in 1 month, and then instead I was seeing, I remember I was Kent by, there was Richard Light, that is another journalist, and we were just hugging virtually. I looked like an idiot from the outside. It was 3 a.m., waving my arms like this, but inside I was super happy because I was again with other people. So this is the power we must exploit for VR.
Antony, just last question from Alires. Maybe Alires, you can ask directly the question, so we will jump to. Sorry, Doris, for this shift. I hope you don't have something.
No,
go ahead. Okay, merci beaucoup. Go.
Thank you.
So, Antony, I just want to know, I love all the tools and seeing what's out there as a gateway to the metaverse. Thinking about inclusiveness and people who are disabled, who may not have a full body, do you think that these tools will allow them to be full-bodied in the metaverse? And are we creating tools that allow them to have that experience? Are you thinking about that as you develop these tools and getting a wider audience, whether it's physically disabled, people who can't, hear or see, how are you accommodating them with these tools and new technologies?
Well, that's a great question. It will be a team, a full speech, more or less. But I think that, I will say we are, first of all, we are improving in trying to be supportive for people with disability. I remember when I started it was very complicated. We had no tools, we had no experience. Now, for instance, on the software side, there is a lot of attention in every game of considering maybe people that can use only one hand, okay, have to play seated. So I remember just news of last week, since fitness in VR is one important topic, FitXR has made some sessions of fitness for people in wheelchair. So even if one cannot use the full body, can play the game. So there is an increasing attention towards all these problems, and this is amazing news. I still think that we are still not completely solved the issue for everyone. So the headset, I don't know, the controllers, for instance, another thing, some people can't grasp them. And now lots of application works with hand tracking. This is another pro thing. I think there is still not all the software is compatible. The hardware is still not comfortable for everyone. So we are like in the middle. We are getting better, but we are not perfect. Just a final thing, since you asked it, what about giving people that is in wheelchair, the possibility of walking? From what I've read, people are already doing things like that, or they are playing or asking people like the senior guys, maybe 90-year-olds, they can't do great things anymore because of their body, and they put them in experience when they can swim, they can run, and they're actually super happy. They feel a bit again. They can do this. I know I read some stories of people starting crying because they felt a bit again like going to the sea, etc. So I think that there is the potential, because I read stories showing this potential. But again, also for this, I think we need more studies, and we are getting better.
Okay, thank you very much, Antony.